What is up, YouTube? JC here, and today we're gonna continue basically last week's series, I guess, even though it's only 2 videos. But anyway, we're gonna continue with last week. We did if the truth just didn't happen at all. So today, right now, we're gonna talk about what if the truth does happen, but Sunny and Basil do not do their plan like the comment actually says. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do. I forgot to say exploring OMORI mysteries and everything, but here's the title card if you want it. But anyway, let's get into the video. Alright, so obviously the first thing is that Marie is once again gone because Sunny pushed her down the stairs and everything, and the pizza's here and everything. But anyway, so then either 2 things are gonna happen. Either Basil's gonna be like, we should stage her death, and Sunny's like, dude, no. or the alternative is that Basil just doesn't do anything at all, which honestly kind of seems more like in character for him, because I mean, he's like the shy type of person who doesn't like conflict, right? So I feel like it would be more likely that he doesn't do anything, but I guess in this case he ended up doing something. But right now, we're gonna assume that the plan just doesn't happen, right? Now, the question is, how would Sunny and Basil face this situation? Because, like, would they either face it, like, just straight up face it, or would they try to lie their way out of it? But even if they did try to lie their way out of it, right, that'd be pretty hard to convince them, considering Sunny's violin is already, like, below her at the bottom of the staircase, which is already, like, a major red flag for everyone. And even if they did somehow manage to lie their way out of this whole situation, it would still be pretty bad because they'd still have to like live with the guilt and everything. And I mean, at least Basil doesn't have to, Basil doesn't have to live with the guilt of doing the plan and everything. But even still, he lied to protect Sunny and everything. So it would still be like pretty much like, well, not pretty much the same thing, but it'd be somewhat similar to the normal game already. But for this video, we're gonna assume that they just straight up face it, they don't lie, and they're just like, this is what happened, and yeah, and now they're like, we have to dude, I cannot talk today. But basically now they have to face how the parents and friends and everything would react, which is what I'm going to get into. So how would everyone react to this whole situation? So I'm gonna start off with Sunny's parents, because I feel like they'd be like the first ones to be on the scene and everything. But Sunny's parents, right, I think their first like initial reaction would obviously be like shocked, because like they were just gone for a few hours, and then they come back and this whole thing's happening. And they might even be angry at Sunny because they're like, dude, why would you do this? But like, they'd be like, they were there because like it would be like in the moment, in the rush of the moment, they'd probably be mad at him at first, but because like they won't even consider anything, they just be like, dude, why would you do this? And without considering or hearing him out and everything, so they probably might be angry at him. And this would especially apply to Sunny's dad, because as we saw in the game, it affected him a lot, to the point where he like separated himself from the family, and he ran away, I guess, or ran away. He like moved away, I guess. I don't know if you could say ran, but he moved away, and yeah, he cut all ties with them, I guess, which is why now in the game there's only Sunny and his mom. So, and considering like in the game it's implied that they already kind of knew what happened with the truth, I think it's safe to say that their reactions would kind of be similar, and Sunny's dad would most likely probably separate himself from the family again, even if they didn't stage it. So in the end, it's most likely that they'll like pretty much just have similar reactions, right? Like Sunny's dad will probably end up leaving for a lot of reasons, like trauma and everything, and Sunny's mother would probably like try to support and protect them, because, well, number one, the dad is gone, number two, Sunny like pretty much like needed that support and everything, and finally Sunny's mother probably just doesn't want to lose another child after she just lost one. So yeah, that was pretty much, that's how I think the parents would react. So now let us move on into Sunny's friends, which is a bit more complicated. One huge thing I think we should all consider is the fact that in the real game they have 4 years to like process and accept like all of the trauma of losing Marie and everything. Even if they didn't know what actually happened, they still have had all that time to process it. But now, like in this theoretical situation, they've had like literally like probably at most like a few weeks to like process everything that's happened. So it would be the circumstances would be different, to say the least. So let's start off with Kel, because Kel is the boy. So anyway, in OMORI, Kel was the one who dealt with the truth, or well, not the truth, but he dealt with Marie's death the best. I mean, he was able to like accept and cope with it and like make friends outside of their friend group and everything. He was pretty good at managing everything that happened in that time period. Now, I know Kel can seem kind of like dumb and goofy at times, especially in his younger days, which is when this whole thing would take place. But I really think that after like, even if it takes him a while, after like understanding what Sunny's going through and that what he did was an accident and everything, he would actually try to support and maybe even forgive him, which is a lot. I swear I've messed up so many times during this video, but which is pretty much what Sunny needs at this time. He needs his friend's support and he needs forgiveness, which is we saw a lot of that in the game, as like he was closing himself off and everything. But anyway, after Kel begins to understand how Sunny's feeling and his guilt and everything, is when I think that when Kel would try to support him, even if it's not as strong. So he would definitely try his best to support him. I mean, after all, Sunny does describe him as an ever loyal companion, so we can imagine he was like a very good friend. He would definitely try to support him. Or maybe he like hates Sunny because he took Marie from him and everything, and this is the whole negative thing happens. But I personally think that Kel is a good person and he would definitely try to support Sunny, even if it took him a while to. He would eventually try to, because Kel is Kel and he is good. Speaking of Kel, let's talk about his one and only brother, Hero. So Hero is quite the conflicting case. So Sunny, we have on one hand, we have Sunny, right, who's one of his closest friends, especially since it's Marie's little brother. But on the other hand, Sunny's also the one who took Marie's life. So there's a lot of conflict there, not just between Sunny and Hero, but for Hero internally. So it'll be pretty tough for Hero to decide whether he wants to forgive Sunny or not. But at the same time, Hero's always like been a warm and kind-hearted person. He's always been very understanding of others' emotions. So we really don't know which way this could go. Honestly, at the end of the day, Hero is kind of like a coin toss, right? Like, if he lets his feelings of losing Marie and everything overwhelm him, then he could like end up hating Sunny and being like, you are a big I don't know where this is going, but anyway, he would not like Sunny maybe. But on the other hand, he could be like, he could like understand Sunny and be like, hey Sunny, I know what you did was a mistake, it was bad, but I'm here to support you because I'm your hero. That was terrible. But anyway, like I said, it's pretty much like a 50-50. But at the same time, like, I guess Hero is more mature because he's older. So it's really hard to decide which way Hero would go. But maybe he forgives him. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. This is too complicated for Hero. Aubrey was another friend who was close to not only Marie but also to Sunny. So this is another case where internal conflict is going to be a major deciding factor for her. She could end up being like really angry at Sunny for cutting Marie's life short, especially since like this whole thing could have been prevented. But at the same time, Aubrey like really cares about her friends and really cares about doing the right thing. So just like abandoning Sunny and hating him would be a pretty hard thing for her to do. And also, Aubrey might care about Sunny more because she might see him as, another part of Marie since he's Marie's little brother. But at the end of the day, the decision is kind of up to her. But I personally think that at some point, or even maybe even immediately, should be able to understand how he feels and his pain, and that it was all just an accident. Like, I mean, it's a big accident that Sonny would probably regret for a very long time. And you know, what Sonny needs most right now is his friends, and just abandoning him and, you know, putting all this hatred on him would just make things a lot worse. And I feel like she'd be able to understand it, and she'd probably end up supporting him. And considering, you know, like in game we saw like she did not want her friends to abandon her and everything, then I feel like it'd be more likely for her to stick with Sonny so they don't abandon each other and they stay together. Basil, I feel like, is like one of the most obvious ones in this video, because we saw how far he went in the actual truth to protect Sonny, so I doubt he would do anything to hurt him or abandon him or, you know, even hate him after all of this, because at the end of the day, like, Sonny and Basil are like two of like the best friends, like the entire friend group. They like really support each other and really care about each other. At least Basil feels that way about Sonny. But you know, they're really close friends, and Basil would pretty much like do anything to protect Sonny. He's like, he wants to protect this child no matter what. And I feel like he just wouldn't hurt him. He would just always support him no matter what. In fact, he might even be like the most supportive friend out of everyone after all of this happens, if his mental state isn't terrible like everyone else. But you know, Basil would more likely than not stick by Sonny's side like he did in the actual game. So finally we have Sonny, and like in the game, he would have like a very hard time coping with everything that happened, because I mean, it was an accident, right? Like, he didn't mean for it to happen, but even so, taking your own sibling's life would obviously have a dramatic impact on your mental health. You know, like how we saw in the game, was like very hard for him to accept everything that happened, right? So not only would it be harder for him to accept everything that happened, it would be extremely hard for him to forgive himself after all he's done. And you know, pretty much his whole mind, like, it would be like filled with all these hateful things about himself, like because he took Marie's own life. So basically what he will need right now is his friends and his family support, because or he's gonna, if that doesn't happen, his dark thoughts and everything are pretty much gonna overwhelm him, which is pretty much why Headspace was created in the first place. So pretty much what Sonny needs is his friends and his family support, because otherwise it's more likely than not we get like another bad ending like in the actual game. So pretty much his reaction is like, or I guess, yeah, his reaction would be pretty much the same as if in like the normal game, like if the truth did happen. I mean, he did still end up taking Murray's life. Like, even if he didn't fake it, he still took his own sister's life. That was very hard for him to deal with. So in conclusion, if Sonny and Basil never do their whole plan after the truth happens, then there would no longer be like an easy escape for them to go. Like, it would be either really hard for them to escape, or they would have to pretty much just face the truth, which is what I'm assuming they would pretty much have to do because of all their circumstances and everything. And they have to face their parents and their friends for, well, more likely more Sonny, because Basil didn't really do anything this time around. So Sonny, you know, has to face his family, his friends, and everything with what he has done, which is going to be very hard, not just for him, but it's going to be hard for everyone else around him to forgive him for what he's done, because he took not only one of their best friends, but his own sister's life, which is very messed up. But at the end of the day, it was an accident, and personally, I believe in the good of Sonny's friends, right? I feel like they would end up forgiving him despite everything, because, you know, like I said, he needs his friends' support and their forgiveness now, because without it, he's gonna suffer a lot, and he may end up, you know, doing the thing, which is very bad, and we don't want that. So they'll probably, I think they would end up, you know, supporting him and everything. And I mean, at the end of this, probably what Marie would want anyway. She would want them to support him, because she probably knows Sonny would never actually try to do this. It was clearly an accident. But anyway, I'm going off topic. There's always the possibility that they end up just hating him and abandoning him, and then Sunny ends up on his own, and then, you know, bad ending, and then that's like a whole different, like, alternate reality or something. But personally, I think they're gonna end up not doing that. So anyway, in the end, there's really no way to tell how this goes, but I guess I just provided my own perspective and my own theories. This is all just theoretical. So I personally hope that coming up with the truth right away would be a better, well, not, I don't know about better than the normal game. Actually, I don't know. I guess that's a whole nother argument, but hopefully it would lead to, like, you know, them all supporting each other and still being friends and an overall happy ending. And yeah, I think that's the end of the script. All right. I don't know why, but every single sentence took me so many attempts. I don't know. I messed up so much during this recording. So if it's kind of bad, I guess I only have myself to blame for messing up so much. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I don't really have much more to add. If you want, like, if you guys want to give me video ideas, leave them in the comments, because, you know, not right now, but, you know, every once in a while the idea tank kind of runs out and then I don't know what to make. So leave your ideas if you want. Leave your thoughts below. And yeah, have a good day or something.